Okay, good morning everyone. So we are now on our last topic, last subject, and that is science. So for our science, we're going to talk about Earth's natural resources. So Earth's natural resources are generally grouped into two. So the first one is renewable resources. These resources can be replaced in a short period of time. So you can replace this in a short period of time, while the non-renewable resources are limited in supply. They cannot replace easily or cannot be replaced at once when they are used up. Okay po? So what are the renewable resources? So the first one are plants and animals. So they are renewable resources because they can reproduce and replace themselves. So people eat food that comes from plants, right? And farmer plants new crops. So we can what? Replace it with a new crops. And then the crops people eat are replaced by new ones. So that's why it is renewable. So for the animals, people also eat animals, right? And the animals replaced when young ones are born. Kapag nanganak, so meron ng kapalit, okay? So they are renewable resources. The next one is water. Water, it is also included in renewable resources. Water can be replaced, and water in a river dries up, but when it rain, it comes back. The lost water is replaced. Okay, yun na walang tubig ay what's this? Nare-replace natin. But there will always be the same amount of water on Earth. However, the problem is the quality of water that we use. Okay po? So, do you drink clean and fresh water? Where do you get your water? Okay po? So, depende sa quality ng water na makukuha natin. Kasi may mga hindi na magagandang water. It's not good for drinking. Unlike before, na all the waters can be yung note kasi it's clean, it's fresh. You can drink it up. Okay, now let's go to our renewable resources, plants and animals, and at the same time, water. So let's go to our non-renewable resources. These, there are resources that cannot be replaced easily or cannot be replaced at all when used up. So examples are the coal. So what we use coal is a black material that is used as fuel. So this one, coal. Okay? So if we consume all of our coal, then it's hard to replace it, and sometimes it cannot be replaced at all. Natural oil and gas and other materials such as diamond, gold, silver, platinum, and copper. So these are the non-renewable resources. Okay po? So next is soil. Another example of non-renewable is soil. So why? Crops can be grown on the same land again and again for years if the soil is properly taken care of. Okay, but if you are just planting and planting and planting, you are not taking good care of the soil, then it is not healthy anymore. So, but if the soil was properly taken of, if the soil is washed away, it will take hundreds and hundreds of years before it can be replaced. Okay po? But if you are taking good care of it, then it's okay. But if the soil is washed away, it will take hundreds and hundreds of years before it can be replaced. It cannot be replaced easily, so the soil is also considered as non-renewable resources. Okay po? So now, we need to conserve our natural resources. Okay po? Para hindi maubos. So, dapat nating tipirin. So, what is conservation means? Saving the things that come from nature like air, soil, water, animals, and plants. So, we need to conserve all these things. So, by what? Number one, use electrical devices responsibly. The less you use electricity, the lesser the fuel is consumed because the fuel is from coal and from this one. And this one is under non-renewable resources. So if you are using your gadgets at the same time, even though you are not using it, it's open, then you are not saving, you are not conserving our natural resources. Now let's go to number 2. Wild animals should be preserved. 2. Preserve. Too much killing of animals could affect the other animals. Okay, so we need to preserve or we need to conserve, we need to preserve wild animals. Number 3, support planting of new trees. People and animals will benefit from it. We can get a fresh air, shelter, and also a shelter for the animals. So we need to support all the tree planting. Number 3, as much as possible, apply the principle of reduce, reuse, and recycle in the use of disposal of material things. So reduce means to make less. Reuse means to use a product over and over again in the same form. Recycle means to go through a new process in order to be used again. Okay po? So that is reduce, reuse, and recycle. In your, some of you, you do a recycle in your robot box. O, diba? Old box, old cups. So you recycle that. You make it into a new one. Okay, so what are some of the recyclable materials? So the tin cans, the bottles are made from minerals which can be recycled by, you're gonna melt it by making them into new tin cans, new bottles, okay? And then the plastic bottles can be recycled too, okay? They are cleaned, if we throw it, they are gonna clean it, refilled, and then they're gonna melt it and mold it into another plastic products such as flower boxes. So you're not gonna throw your trash sa water, sa land, but you're gonna what's this? Throw your garbage properly. Okay po? Para segregate it so that when it's under recycle, they can recycle it. Okay, so now please get your book, open it on page 276. 276. Number 1, I'm gonna, what's this? Read the instruction. Write R if the material is renewable or can be replaced. Write NR if the material cannot be replaced easily. So number 1, coal, the one that we can make a fuel. R or NR. Number 2, plants. R or NR. Number 3, soil. R or NR. Number 4, animals. R or NR. And number 5, water. R or NR. Now let's go to this one. Number 1, what are the natural resources? Write your answer. What are the natural resources? Number 2, what is the difference between renewable and non-renewable resources? Number 2, what is the difference between renewable and non-renewable resources? And number 3, what are some ways to conserve natural resources? What are some ways to conserve natural resources? Just give me 2. For number 3, just give me 2 answers. 1, 2. Okay. Now, you're done. So let's go to our next topic, and that one is effects of human activities to our earth's land and water. So all the activities that we are doing, it affects our land and water. So we have here a soil pollution. Why do we have a soil pollution? Because we are cutting too much down of trees. And then when we cut it, then when there's a flood, there's going to be a soil erosion. Okay? Throwing of garbage and waste improperly. So there's going to be a soil pollution if you are throwing your garbage anywhere. Okay? The garbage that is contaminated and not healthy for the soil, it's not um, it's not good. Okay po? So the soil will what's it? Magiging it's not healthy anymore. So your plants and crops will not be healthy. Okay? So you need to throw your garbage properly. Number 3, overuse of fertilizers and pesticides. So there's going to be a pollution also in our rice, in our, what's this? In our soil if we are using the fertilizers and pesticides. Okay? Because they are destroying the quality of the soil because of using this one. And also, the rice fields and other agricultural lands, yung mga farm natin, they made it into a residential. Remember the one that I told you? Yung before, it's like a rice field and now it's small. Now it's houses. Okay po? Subdivision. So, maraming nagbabago. So this activity can cause overgrazing. This condition exposes farmlands to agents of soil erosion. So there are also some diseases that we can get. So these are called soil-borne diseases. Soil-borne diseases are diseases that are caused by fungal pathogens which survive in the soil surface. So who are affected ng soil-borne diseases? So some of the plants, okay, the plant parts that are affected show stunting, wilting, and eventually dying. Okay po? So the soil-borne diseases, it affects the plant parts that, and then it will show stunt, it will become stunting, wilting, and then eventually it will die plants. So now let's go to water pollution. Why do we have a water pollution? What is the reason? The reason is throwing of garbage and human waste into them. Okay? Number 2, using of detergents and bleaching materials. So they use detergents and bleaching materials that contain chemicals, okay, that can pollute the rivers. Those who are, washing their clothes in the rivers. Okay po? And when the water become polluted, fish and water plants will die. And people cannot drink the water anymore. Polluted water can cause diseases. And these are the waterborne diseases. Diseases that spread through contaminated water are cholera, dysentery, typhoid fever, and diarrhea. Okay? So this one, this infection can result not only from drinking, but also from swimming, especially if swimming in the dirty water, bacteria can enter the body through your broken skin. Okay po? So always seek medical advice when you are infected by waterborne diseases. Okay? Next, air pollution. What is the reason why do we have some air pollution? Because of the pile of garbage lying around the streets. It can pollute the air. The black smoke from the chimneys of different factories, and also the smoke coming from vehicles. Okay? Human and animals need air in order to live. They need clean and safe air to breathe. If they breathe polluted air, they will get sick or die. Polluted air is dirty air. So what are the airborne diseases? So these diseases are common cold, okay? These one are caused by bacteria, which are transferred through coughing, sneezing, or through close personal contact. So some examples of airborne diseases are common cold and cough, throat infection, influenza, chickenpox, and tuberculosis. The risk of getting infected with airborne diseases is high. However, observing simple precautionary methods can prevent the spread of infection. For example, avoiding contact with persons with disease or wearing a mask can provide some protection. Covering the mouth while sneezing or coughing can also cut down the spreading of infected droplets. So these are the airborne diseases. So how the care and concern, we need to protect the earth because the earth is our only home. It has air that we need, air, water, and land where living things live. So must keep them clean. So the first one is we need to plant more trees. Plants help prevent the soil from being washed away. They also make the surrounding air fresh and clean. Because when the soil was washed away, it will take how many years? Hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay po, para ma-renew yung ating good soil. So number 2, dispose your garbage properly. Scattering it on the ground and throwing it into any body of water contribute to air and water pollution. So do not throw into bodies of water. Now let's go to number 3. Segregate your garbage, okay? Your garbage should be segregated. So these are the biodegradable, non-biodegradable. This one is for, what's this? For plastics, bottles, like that, metal. So you're gonna segregate it. Number 4, avoid burning trees. Why? Because this activity destroys the fertility of the soil. Okay? Number 4, avoid burning trees. Why? Because this activity destroys the fertility of the soil. Number 6, do not burn solid waste like paper, plastics, and other materials. The smoke from the burning materials pollutes the air and destroys our atmosphere. For our number 6, avoid excessive cutting down of trees. Forest denudation causes flooding and soil erosion. So magkakaroon ng flood, it will cause flood and soil erosion. And number 7, save water and electricity. Closing the faucet well and turning off the lights when not in use can help conserve water and electricity. Now, please get your book and open it on page 287. Okay, 287. Number 1, write yes if the statement is correct or no if it is incorrect. Number 1, pollution harms the productivity of the soil. Yes or no? Number 2, too much cutting down of trees helps animals and people around. Yes or no? Number 3, the washing away of soil is called soil erosion. Yes or no? Number 4, smoke coming from the factories helps clean the air. Yes or no? And number 5, you're going to put all kinds of garbage in one container. Yes or no? So letter B, name of the following diseases for the airborne, the waterborne, and the soilborne. Okay? Name 2 of the following diseases. So for your assignment, study for our quiz tomorrow. Take a picture of page 276 and 287 and send it in our class dojo. Thank you everyone and see you tomorrow. Bye!